Hi, this is Robert Woodruff with the Keys to Cash Flow. Thanks for joining me today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss today the 10 most frequently asked questions about mobile home investing. And after we get done covering that, we're going to cover the 10 most important questions you should be asking, but you don't know to ask yet. But I know how to ask those questions, so we're going to go ahead and cover them all today. Hang in there, fasten in your seats, and let's get started. Number one, what is a mobile home good for? Okay, wobbly boxes. There are these things people live in. They're undesirable. They're often in bad neighborhoods. And I don't want to live there myself, so why do I want to buy one? Well, here's the answer. Mobile homes are good for cash flow. Okay? Now, everybody gets started in real estate investing often trying to do flipping because they want these big paychecks. But the big paychecks, they come and they go. Now, the cash flow, it doesn't go anywhere. It stays there for a long time, and it's the way that you attain your financial freedom. So the more cash flow, the more mobile home investments you have, the more assets you acquire, means the more post office paychecks you're going to have that are coming into your post office every month. So that's why mobile homes. You do mobile homes for the cash flow, and cash flow alone. Number two, do I need money to get started? No, you do not need money to get started in mobile home investing. The biggest myth ever, and some of the worst talk that you can hear out of your peers or your fathers or grandfathers is that you gotta have money to make money. Well, that's a self-defeating prophecy. You do not. If you don't have time, then you need money. Well, if you don't have money, then you just need a little bit of time. Put forth a little bit of effort to go out and find some deals, wholesale some deals, help out some sellers, some motivated sellers who need help, and pocket thousands of dollars. Take that money, put it into your assets, keep doing the same thing over and over and over again until you have enough to acquire your financial freedom. Easy enough, right? Number three, do I need a dealer's license to be a mobile home investor? No, no you do not. Now if you ask a dealer this, they'll say, yes, yes you do. Just like if you ask a realtor if wholesaling properties is okay, they might say it's illegal, okay? You do not need a dealer's license to be a mobile home investor. Now, if you're selling or flipping a certain amount of mobile homes every year, you're going to qualify for needing to get your dealer's license. But if you're just filling the properties or using them as rentals, you need not have your dealer's license, okay? Number four, can I rent mobile homes in mobile home parks? Yes, you can. But number one mistake that I see new mobile home investors do is they'll pick up the phone and they'll call all the mobile home parks in their area and they'll say, can I rent a mobile home in your park? And you know what they're gonna say? No, because I don't want the problems of you coming into my park and doing a rental agreement with somebody and then your tenant thinking, oh, well, what's in your rental agreement is more important than what's in my lot rent agreement. You understand? That causes problems. So just by picking up the phone and calling around and asking everybody if you can rent in their park, makes you clearly, it shows that you don't know what you're doing. So don't do that. Don't do it at all. Can you rent in parks? Yes. If they tell you that you can rent in their park, go ahead. Just don't ask. Rule of thumb, don't ask. Number five, will a mobile home appreciate in value? Well, the Manufactured Housing Institute says yes. Bob says no, not at all. The longer you own a mobile home, the less it's worth. Until eventually one day it's going to hit a value that's going to be what it's worth. That's going to be the maximum value that you can get for the home in your area. Now, other than that, can they appreciate? In theory, well, if there's mobile home parks in Florida where mobile home parks junkers go for $10,000 a piece, but yet there's mobile home parks in South Carolina where the mobile home could go for $500 or even free, well then obviously there's a difference in value being the different areas. So now all of a sudden if South Carolina real estate all of a sudden switched to be like Florida real estate, well then in theory a mobile home could appreciate. But does a mobile home appreciate? Generally, no. Number six, should I buy a mobile home that needs to be moved? Generally, no, you don't want to do that, because if you got to buy a mobile home and it has to be moved, well, not only are you paying the amount to purchase for the mobile home, but now you're also paying for the amount for the mobile home to be moved, which you really don't want to do. That can make your numbers bad. Or if you're adding all that extra expense into purchasing your mobile home, what that means is it's going to take you twice as long to get all your money back that you've got invested into the mobile home. And do you want to wait 2-3 years before you actually make a buck? Or do you want to make it now? You know, do you want to do it in 6 months, 12 months? What do you want to do? Now, in the Keys to Cash Flow, Rent to Own Mobile Home course, it's my course, I show you how to get a mobile home moved for free. That's right. Or if you can still go out and buy a mobile home that needs to be moved and use a different strategy where somebody else will be paying to move it instead of you, and you still be able to sell it and make some money. So yes, there are ways that you can buy a mobile home if it has to be moved and still make it into a deal. But by general knowledge, if you're going to go out and buy a mobile home and it has to be moved, it's going to increase the cost of moving it. So, you know, it's just to the point where it's not going to be worth doing the deal anymore. Number 7, what kind of financing is available? Generally, not much, if any, okay? Nobody's really wanting to finance a mobile home. When you get a whole bunch of mobile homes and you go into the bank and you say, well, I've got a bunch of these mobile homes, are you going to use them as collateral towards something else? No, the banks will not use them as collateral. Really, a mobile home, what it's really worth is how much money is it getting in every single month. So that's the true value of the property, is how much money is it getting. And beyond that, the banks really don't care how much it's worth. It's a mobile home. It's a wobbly box. That's the way they look at it. Banks will not refinance them, and a lot of them have a hard time even giving you financing on it. If you go into a mortgage officer, they're not going to be able to do it. You got to go into a branch bank. So a branch bank might do it for you. Or there's actually smarter lenders out there called private money lenders. Now, when you start getting involved in being a mobile home investor, other investors are going to see what you're doing. They're going to say, wow, you know, there's some really big numbers there. Why don't you let me give you the cash to go ahead and fix that deal and put somebody in it? Well, that works out great. You know, you can give them a better interest rate than they can get anyplace else, bar none, and still, you know, have a great deal on your hands. If you can give somebody clear up to 15% on a 12-month or even a 3-month, then that is amazing. Now imagine if you had your deal with them where they were making 15% every 3 months. Imagine if you had that with them for a full 12 months. That could be up to a 60% return per year. Now, who offers that? Think about it. Single wides or double wides? Single wides. Double wides are double the expense. You think, oh, well, if it's going to be a double wide, is it going to be double the amount of money that I get for it? No, not really. Often what happens is double wides are going to have a mortgage payment on them. So on the month that ain't nobody paying you, you got to pay somebody. It's not a good idea, okay? Stay away from double wides in parks, they're no good. Can I buy mobile homes no money down? Absolutely. Okay, here's the neat thing about mobile home investing is that there are people out there that are having really big problems with their mobile homes right now. Okay, maybe they've got to move out of state, maybe they're behind on their payments, maybe they have to sell it now and they got to move someplace else. Well, you don't see a whole lot of realtors listing mobile homes. Okay, so their only choice is to go to the dealer and see if the dealer will take it back. And do you think they are? No, they're not. So here's what happens. It either sits there and it gets taken back by the bank, or they try to rent it out to a family member, which will end up shagging the place out, or, you know, just a number of negative things that will happen there. So really the only help that they have is you and me. We're the only ones that cater to this stuff. We're the only ones that help them. So you can make a lot of money just solving sellers' problems, buying mobile homes, no money down. Last question. How old should the mobile homes be? Well, I spoke earlier that we don't want to have this huge bill looming over our heads, because the longer it takes us to pay off the mobile home, the longer it's going to take for us to actually get any money off the deal. So generally you want a home that's really close to being paid off or is already paid off, so that you can start reaping a cash flow off the property immediately. Okay, so what you're looking for is probably 15, 20-year-old mobile homes. Of course, we said no double wides, so keep it to single wides, and that is your honey hole properties.